Hello, everyone. We have with us Mr. Unmesh Deshpande, ex-CTO of Kingsway Hospital and a consulting CTO at many other corporations. Mr. Deshpande has led strategic interventions across organizations like Dwise Healthcare IT Solutions, Persistent System, and VXL Instruments Limited. He's also the honorary principal advisor, business process automation and digital infrastructure to New Consulting Pune. Good afternoon, Mr. Deshpande.
Good afternoon.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Same here.
Okay, so Mr. Deshpande, in continuation to all the thoughts and inputs that you've already provided to strategic platforms, I would like to start and pose my first question to you. Although the pandemic has, as you already know, the pandemic has already accelerated the adoption of technology, and it has also exposed cybersecurity vulnerabilities across sectors. So, according to you, how important do you believe is cybersecurity to the healthcare sector in the modern world?
See, data security and cyber security, not only for healthcare, but all the organizations is absolutely important. What makes it more important for healthcare is the data that it contains. There are so many factors and fields which contains the personal, very close and personal information about the patient. So this data becomes a valuable data for anybody who wants to come in and hack into system. So it is absolutely necessary for healthcare sector to have a detailed cyber security posture to be deployed. And when I say that, the healthcare organization or the any hospital must understand what type of data they have. I mean, there are very few number of organizations who really put their thoughts into what kind of a data they are holding. Most of them are into transactions of treatments and working for patient betterment. But there has to be a focused team of people who really look into what kind of data they have, what is the commercial aspect attached to it, and how people can attack it. So it is becoming more and more, what should I say, more and more important for all the CIOs, CTOs, and moreover CISOs, Chief Information Security Officers, to really safeguard that data. And that is why it is very important.
Right, sir. That was wonderful. Moving on to this whole, in the same topic, I would say these days cyber crimes are fairly common. Businesses around the world are experiencing there's a spike because of the whole digital transformation. Everyone is moving to the cloud platform. There's people are switching to virtual environments. There's been a spike in cyber attacks, cyber crimes. So would you mind sharing a little bit about how your organization is changing strategies, or how you have, previously your organizations have used new strategies to stay ahead of the cyber criminals?
See, last 24 to 30 months, we dedicate this period to the pandemic. The COVID-19 has been the best and the most severe teacher to everyone, and the IT leaders and IT arena is not an exception to it. A lot of people took this as a calamity or catastrophe, but there were leaders who took it as an opportunity to learn and to modernize their infrastructure. So what happened is everybody wanted their staff to be there in the hospital, or if it is not a healthcare, in their offices. But it was difficult to manage that because of various lockdowns. So enabling people to work from home meant exposing your business applications over the internet. And that really opened gates for all the cyber criminals to really come into your network. People did not fingerprint the logins and the VPNs of who is logging in and what time people are logging in. So there was no pattern analysis. So this became a pattern in itself, that people were not deeply analyzing the traffic. But in our case, what we did was we deployed a certain kind of, though not the fully mature version of a zero trust. Who you are, what you are and what you want or supposed to do. Take an example, a nursing staff accessing financial data is unlikely, right?
Right.
Nursing staff or a chief of nursing uh, would like to access the patient record of what kind of treatment is prescribed and all. So that is a regular pattern. But anything away from this pattern, the example that I cited, that a nursing head trying to access a financial record is not the pattern. So it should create a trigger. What used to happen is there were so many probes coming into our network, wherein a regular, honest connection to the network from a remotely working employee was compromised. And there were certain spikes which we received on our network, and that triggered the opening of gates to the cyber criminals' computer. But luckily, because of our pattern analysis, and though it was a 24 cross 7 manual operation, because we were not too geared with modern day software tools and things like that. So it was very difficult to do that. But being alert helped us to be one step ahead of the cybercrime. And fortunately, as they say, touch wood, there were no incidences of security breaches on our healthcare network, which was obvious in some of the leading healthcare setups in India.
Right, sir. I think very rightly said that, we need to be prepared in advance. We need to create that culture of cyber awareness in the organizations. So wonderful. Again, as we are, we are transitioning to a more matured cyberspace. In your view, what are some of the biggest challenges that, being faced by business leaders? What do you think in their journey, towards building a more secured system? What do you think are challenges that are coming in way while they're transitioning to, a more secured system, a more secured cyberspace? Yeah.
See, these days, technologies and tools are available to really effectively defend the biggest asset of any organization, which is a structured data, right? Data has value. People create that value into that data, right? So people along with the data is of immense business value for any organization. Now, people are already there. To enable these people, especially the IT security or InfoSec staff, with the right tooling, with the right investment, with the right training, and right culture within the organization, all these put together will create a value. The leadership team, or let's say level above a CXO level, should understand this, should really respect the investment propositions brought into by various CIOs, CTOs, and CISOs to the board. They must analyze. They should not look these as a cost, but they should look as why do we buy an insurance policy, right? LIC is one of the biggest enterprise of the country.
Absolutely.
People do buy policies, and in very rare case, the policy is encashed, right?
Right.
So what they say, zindagi ke saath bhi, zindagi ke baad bhi. So that has to be deployed, because see, data security is technology deployment is as good as an insurance.
Right.
It gives a peace of mind to the entire organization. Yes, we are secure, we are protected, and there are policies and processes which will take care of all these things, right?
Yes.
So there has to be a buy-in of people and the leadership team to really support the projects of InfoSec in the organization.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I totally agree. I think cybersecurity should be prioritized when it is coming to investment. And, it's a very lovely, like, I think it's a very good investment. And I also feel that, that it should be prioritized, and it is inevitable part of a business strategy for the separate. Right. Lovely, sir. And Anything else you would want to point out, around what is happening in the world and across the globe with regards to cybersecurity? What are some of the trends that you would want to point out that, okay, this is what we need to look out for in the next coming years with respect to cybersecurity?
See, in one of the keynote address that I delivered, uh, I had cited my opinion and views about cybersecurity, wherein I had said that cybersecurity tools, technology, policies, processes can be deployed at any organization. Of
Absolutely.
course, subject to the management buy-in and budgets. And once they are deployed, they have to be run. But then, moreover, a lot of organizations, when they face a cybersecurity breach, and if you analyze the situation, why it happened, how it happened, and when did it happen, if you ask these three questions internally to the team, it is most of the time it's an internal threat. Assume that I am the chief infosec officer of a company, but if my integrity itself is at a risk, I am not happy working in the organization. But yet, just because the company pays me well, I am working. So there could be n number of reasons for my dissatisfaction to the job, but I am leading the job because maybe a new option is in pipeline or whatever. So these personal ethics, personal happiness. So HR, I would say that the HR department has an equal responsibility to keep the employees happy, so they are more, let's say, integrated with their job. They are more honest. And if this can be put together along with technology, generally the organization will be unbeatable as far as cybersecurity is concerned.
Thank you, sir. I think that was some really wonderful insights. And I'm sure I loved actually having this interview with you, where you were very, very on point on all the questions. And I'm sure the readers and the audience will enjoy it as much. Thank you. And thank you for giving us this opportunity. And thank you for giving us the time. And in future, we would love to collaborate with you again.
Sure, it has been my pleasure. Thank you.
Sir.
Thanks, Asif.
Thank you, sir.